Welcome to another Rolled in Reacts episode. This car was parked in a barn for 3 years and the owner wanted to see if it was savable. The owner of this Camaro had hit a curb really hard, which had pushed the steering rack into the oil pan, causing it to sound like this, and it apparently also drove in like this. And this car came in because the owner complained about an oil leak. This 2003 Nissan Altima came in because the owner complained about a loss of power, oil pressure light coming on, and it randomly stalling on him. Apparently, the owner had kept the engine on a low oil diet, and this is the amount of metal that the mechanic found in the oil filter. This customer complained about their new wipers not working. Customer states, "My horn sounds pathetic. Please advise." Customer states, "Clunking noises when turning." This mechanic had already asked the bolt nicely 5 times before having to do this. This 2008 Ford F-150 came in to get a new oil pan gasket when the mechanic discovered some treats inside the oil pan. Apparently, the truck even drove in like this. Customer states, "Something's wrong with my windshield." This customer came in because they just couldn't open their window. And remember, if you're changing your own oil and oil filter, always lubricate the O-ring, put a little bit of oil in the filter, and only screw the filter on finger tight. Or else you might end up like this poor guy who screwed his filter on so tightly that it broke, completely soaking his car in engine oil and could have led to a real bad engine failure.
Here's a new one right here. Right about there. That's all you need.
And this car came in because of a blown tire. Apparently, the mechanic also found the rest of the tires to have about 100 psi in them. Okay, here's a little quiz for you. One of these things are unlike the other. Can you guess which one it is? And this Lexus CT came in because it just wouldn't start. Once the mechanics removed the spark plugs, they discovered that the engine was full of coolant due to a bad head gasket. Customer states, "Car wobbles and is loud when driving on the highway." And this customer came in complaining about the horn being in the wrong place. And this car had some starting issues, and the mechanic discovered it was because ants had apparently built a nest in the fuse box. This customer was driving their newly purchased Dodge Challenger home when they suddenly heard a bang from underneath the car. Customer states, "Car sounds weird after having been at another shop." This 1995 Ford F-250 came in because it had a pretty nasty brake fluid leak. This customer came in because they had hit something and now their car makes a rattling noise. The owner of this car came in because they heard a hissing sound from the back door. Thankfully, the mechanic was not afraid of snakes. And this customer came in complaining about poor handling when driving over 40 miles an hour. Customer states, "The window won't roll down." This customer came in with their Kia because their engine was in pretty bad shape. Apparently, the customer was denied an engine replacement at the Kia dealership under the Kia 10-year 100,000 mile warranty, despite the vehicle only having 48,000 miles on it and all the documentation of regular oil changes since new. And this Chevy Lumina had a pretty broken camshaft. Customer states, car smells like it's burning a lot of oil. Turns out that it was because the car had an oil leak straight onto the exhaust. And this customer complained about their glove box not wanting to remain closed. And this customer somehow drove in with their brakes in this condition. This 22 Jeep Wrangler came in because of a coolant leak. Apparently, one of the coolant hoses weren't connected to the electric cooling pump, which caused the issue. Now what's going on here? This customer had their Mazda 5 in for a new ball joint at another shop, but had to come in again because the shop apparently didn't weld this one like they did last time. And this customer came in saying, "I think I have an electrical problem." This car apparently had double lug nuts on a non-double wheel. Thankfully, the mechanic noticed this in time and the customer agreed to getting the proper lug nuts installed. Customer states, the rear seat won't stay in place. And this customer specifically asked for an alignment, but not a new rim. So the mechanics did as they were told.
I wonder if this thing's gonna hold on there or not. I guess it's gonna have to.
This customer had borrowed their car to their 20-something-year-old son for the weekend while they were out of town. And this Honda Accord came in with a pretty beat up CV axle. Customer states, there's a blue light on the dash and it won't go away. And this car's valve cover gasket must be pretty non-existent for there to be that much oil in there. This customer had done his own brakes and wanted the mechanic to make sure everything looked alright.
Some people's children, eh? Toenail chewers.
This classic Rolls-Royce came in because of an engine problem right after the owner had just purchased it. The mechanic pulled the engine apart and discovered that someone had already tried fixing it, but done it with some JB Weld. And this truck came in because it randomly turns itself off and the check engine light is on. Turns out the cylinder 8 had a broken valve stem that caused the issue. Thankfully, the customer's insurance company covered the cost of a new engine. This truck came in for some new oil, but the mechanic was surprised at how rusted the oil pan was for only having 18,000 miles on it. Customer states, car clunks and vibrates when turning. Please advise. The mechanic found the issue to be caused by a worn out lower control arm. And this mechanic was replacing a fender liner on his vehicle when he accidentally discovered the secret hiding place of all 10 mils. Customer states, drove into a large pothole. And this car came in because of a clunking noise coming from the wheels. This 2015 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid came in because it wouldn't start. The mechanic found a lot of error codes on the diagnostic tool and also discovered that the hybrid battery, which sits in the trunk, was having its own little pool party. The customer ended up declining all repairs because they unfortunately could not afford it. And this Dodge Magnum rolled in because of a fuel leak. The mechanic discovered that the fuel tank had a hole in it right next to the exhaust. This customer was getting an alignment on their Honda Civic when the mechanic noticed this. And this 2013 Volkswagen Jetta TDI came in because it sounded louder than normal and the oil light was on. This Volkswagen Tiguan came in for a knock-in engine. The mechanic drained the engine of oil and it looks like water because it's 0W20 oil. But what's unfortunate for this customer is that there's also quite a bit of metal flakes floating around in it. She's running good to me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This Nissan Navara came in because of a noisy engine. The mechanic later discovered that the last oil change was 42,000 miles ago. And this customer came in complaining about a strange noise coming from their wheels after their buddy had helped them install some new brake pads. Apparently, they forgot the retaining pins that keeps the pad in place and the pads had been scraping against the inside of the wheel, which caused the noise. Customer states, rattling noises at idle.
Yeah, I think so.
This Ram 3500 rolled in because the owner had been towing something when suddenly hearing a loud bang from his transmission. Must have been something pretty heavy, I guess. Customer states, I think I hit a turkey. Please check and repair fog lights. And this customer complained about clunking and rattling noises from the front wheels. And this almost brand new Jeep Wagoneer came in because the material on the steering wheel was already falling apart. Customer states, drove through water, need engine drained and oil replaced. And this customer came in with their Mercedes because it sounds like an outboard motor. And this car had a bit of an oil leak. This customer came in saying that every time they hit a speed bump, they hear a clunking sound from their trunk. Customer states, I just need an oil change. Don't try to sell me something else. And this customer complained about squeaky brakes. Uh-oh, chunky is never good. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and until next time.